right, welcome back, everybody. Happy to see everybody and have you out again. We're thrilled and really excited to be talking today to Ray Rice. And Ray, you and I have been acquainted for quite a few years, and I was excited to have you on the podcast today and just talk through some unique things you're doing with many of your clients. So, Ray, want to go through a quick intro, but before we do that, let me just kind of talk through a couple things I know about Ray. Ray works for the largest, in my opinion, coaching company in the industry right now. You're doing some incredible things with many of your coaching clients and customers. I believe you got your career started at Remax, crushed it over there with Remax. You've done a lot in kind of the Keller Williams world. I think you hang your license now with Real. So not only are you a coach, but you've been in the business, you've sold real estate, you've done a lot of really cool things. You've worked with a lot of really cool technologies, software platforms. Love that you've got kind of that accounting and finance background through just kind of your college career and everything you did in schooling. And then the military background, right? I mean, you're a Marine, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the program. Tell the audience just a little bit more about you, if you don't mind.
No, that was good. That sounds kind of impressive, actually, right? For me. Accounting and finance background. Grew up in Southeast Texas, like Beaumont, Texas. Extremely immature, tried to play a little baseball in college, was failing out of everything. It's a PE major, like all the other baseball players, and just failing everything. So I needed to mature. Went in the Marine Corps and grew up there a little bit. Went back and actually made good grades. You read the books, it actually works. So I was able to pass. Eventually ended up at the University of Houston, graduated there with a finance degree, BBA in finance. Thought that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a stockbroker on Wall Street, get away from Southeast Texas as far as I could. But I realized that was all just sales, and it was not the way to go. The accounting and finance kind of jobs I worked were just super boring. By then I was living in Dallas and, driving an hour to downtown Dallas, going up in a skyscraper, doing Excel spreadsheets in a tiny 6x6 cubicle all day was boring.
Cubicle life, right? Yeah.
I'm telling you. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I numbers just made sense to me. That's why I majored in finance. But I didn't know I was really an entrepreneur at heart. Eventually got into this real estate world, and that's when I just really took off. I was in mortgages, and my ex-wife and I we were partners, and she had a real estate. She was in real estate. I was doing her clients' mortgages back then, and mortgages was a little bit better, but I didn't still quite feel that entrepreneurial pull. I was helping her with her website because I realized she made a lot more money per closing. How can I help her get more money and have more closings? And I just started digging into the technology that they provided to her and looking at the websites. And I started learning about what makes one website rank higher than another one, search engine optimization. And that got really fascinating. That was cool. Started generating leads. And, she was pretty busy already. So I started calling the leads, and I wasn't even licensed. Started kind of showing a few properties. Maybe that was not 100% legal. I wasn't licensed yet. But then they went to the new technology with the key cards, getting into houses and everything. So I couldn't do that anymore. Had to get my license. And then, she was already in Tom Ferry coaching. So I joined in with her, and we just took off, started building a team, going from there.
Yeah.
I love systems and processes. That's why I love you guys so much and everything, all the Place and Brivity, Landvoice, all the different companies you guys represent. I've learned a lot from Ben Kinney over the years. I just love what he does. Our brains work similarly, at least I feel like they do. Big advocates. I really appreciate the companies that you guys have and have built.
So I appreciate that, Ray. And what I love about your background right there is you just kind of hit on, I think what you did is you found your passion, right? Your wife's out there crushing it in mortgage, and you really started geeking out on the operational side of, hey, we've got to stand up a website, we've got to collect leads, we've got to nurture and convert. And I really feel like, as you and I have talked over the years, like that's really where you've kind of made your hay right, is on the operational side of standardizing a lot of those processes. And here in this podcast, it's all about listed, right? It's about listing properties. And at Landvoice, we talk a lot about FSBOs, we talk about expireds, we talk about a lot of this data. And there's a lot of people out there busy calling the data. There's a lot of people out there door knocking the data. But one really cool thing you're doing with your customers is you're mailing to a lot of people, right? You're kind of trying to warm up a relationship and get in front of people before you actually talk to them. And that's what I want to hit on today a little bit is kind of the creative mind, the spark, and some of the things that you're doing, not only in your own business, but with many of the customers and clients you're working with right now, right?
Yeah. One of the things that I learned from Ben, and this is a quote from Ben too. I don't remember where it was I heard it, but it just stuck with me. You want to do anything at a high level? What's your process? You want to create wealth? Well, we take every check we get, we put 10% in a business account, 10% in a savings account, we operate on the other 80, whatever it is, we can always tweak it, but you got to have a system. You want to do FSBOs? What's your system? You want to do expireds? You can't just send out one postcard or one mailer and forget it. You got to have an entire system. Online, offline, email, mail, follow-up phone calls. All of it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, no question. No,
Yeah.
I love
If
that.
anybody
It's about
wants,
systems. It's about processes, right?
and that's what I love about CRMs. They can create the process, right? Boom. It's time to send this mailer. Boom. It's time to follow up. It's been 7 days since you sent this mailer. Now it's time for a phone call, or whatever. We can always tweak it if it's not working. But what's the process? There's got to be a system, not a one and done. There's no magic bullets and one thing and it's going to do it all. It's a process.
Yeah, and the money's not only in the process, but in the follow up too, right? Like a lot of times in any business, whether it's insurance or real estate or mortgage, whatever it is, right? Like reaching out to a homeowner or to a potential contact one time typically isn't where the money is. It's in the process, it's in the follow up. And I love that. I know there's a lot of people out there using postcards, they're sending out a letter or a mailer. And what you talked to me about a few days ago, I just thought, okay, this is creative. This is a way to kind of brand yourself, right? And a business. So talk us through that a little bit, because I know you sent a lot of postcards in your business. I know you've sent a lot of letters. Talk us through maybe what that process looks like in a mailing campaign or in a system like Brivity or another CRM that agents are using right now.
Yeah. So do you want to jump into the lumpy mail
Absolutely.
that we talked about?
Yeah,
Then? Okay.
let's do lumpy. Let's get creative. Let's talk about kind of brand recognition and how people have kind of learned your name and your brand through lumpy mail.
Yeah. So my brand, right? I'm Ray Rice, but I'm not that Ray Rice. So that gets a chuckle.
That's
Really.
right.
Not that Ray Rice. No. So I study a lot of marketing outside of the real estate world. One thing I definitely know that real estate agents are all very monkey see, monkey do. They sign up with their brokerage and they download the template for their business cards. They download a for sale by owner, or they download a just listed or just sold kind of a flyer or something, or a postcard, or a social media post. It's all templated. Everybody does the exact same thing. Seth Godin, marketing guru, right? You got to be the purple cow. If everybody else is the white cow or the brown cow, you got to be the purple cow. You got to stand out. If everybody's going left, you need to go right and be completely different. So I study a lot of marketing outside of real estate. And I think I'm really not a creative person, I think, but maybe I am. I've been told that by other people. But I figured out how to merge some things that work in the marketing world that's outside of real estate. And I've thought about how can I make it work in the real estate world. And one thing that I heard about several years ago was something called lumpy mail, Lumpy, meaning like it's not just a flat envelope, right? It's something that's thick, it's bulky, it stands out, it feels different. And I have hired and many copywriters over the years, had tons and tons of
Good.
interviews with me. Who's our ideal customer? What's their avatar look like? What are their pain points? What experiences have they had in the past with real estate agents, so have you? And what we know is like with for sale by owners, typically they've had a bad experience with a real estate agent. That's why they're doing it themselves. My real estate agent never called me back. They didn't do anything to sell my house, never heard from them, blah, blah, blah. And another thing that we know is usually at week 3 when somebody goes for sell by owner.
Okay.
If it's been on the market for sell by owner for 3 weeks, they start getting really frustrated. So Monday after 3 weeks is a great day to hit them. Right after that weekend, a third weekend where they've attempted it on their own, that's a really good day to hit them from research. But so back to the
that's a really good nugget, right? And most people don't understand that. They call the FSBO the first day, or they reach out to the FSBO. Nobody wants to list after the first day they've listed their home, right? As for sale by owner.
They're super excited. They're going to do it themselves, save thousands of dollars.
But what you're saying is the science and the data is telling you 21 days later, it's a little bit of a different story, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have a series of a campaign that I created. I hired the copywriters to write this. I'm not a great writer by any means. So I started off with a cheap copywriter on Fiverr or something, and eventually ended up with a guy I pay $250 an hour to do this stuff for me. And I have lots of things that they do for me on a monthly basis ongoing. But we've been doing it together for years, so they already know me. We don't even talk about it. I just send them a message saying, here's what I need. Boom, they know exactly what to do. But so the very first letter is this one right here. You know how well it's going to show up on a podcast, but if you're watching us at home on the YouTube or what have you, or social, this is a bank bag. And you're probably old enough to remember this, but a lot of people don't.
I do remember those, yeah.
This is a bank bag. So you unzip it, right? You take your deposits. Typically businesses had these. They'd have all their everything paper clipped, all the money together and the checks and everything. They take it and they would put this through the window, and the teller would tally it all up and give them the receipt back in their bank bag. So you can buy these. There's lots of different places, but this is a mailable piece according to the post office. I think it's a large envelope. It's, I don't know, like $3 a piece now. But all you have to do is put your letter on, or your address, and you can put your return address on here if you want to. All you have to do is zip it up. And for the post office, they want you to just put a piece of tape over this zipper so it doesn't catch other mail and stuff when it's going through the process. But this is a large envelope. So you might be curious what the letter says. They open it up. They're going to get this out of their mailbox, right? And they're going to go, what the heck? And it says, "Dear Sean, as you can see, this letter arrived in a bank bag. Why have I done this? Actually, there are 2 reasons. Number 1, I have something very important to say to you, and I needed some way to make sure this letter would catch your attention. And second, since this letter is going to show you how you can sell your home fast, for your asking price or above, I thought it especially appropriate to put it in a bank bag as an attention-getting eye catcher." Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's got some testimonials from our customers, you know, why we're different. Goes through all the pain points that we talked about, you know, what experiences they've had with real estate agents, why we're different from that. But again, this is the first letter. And then that would go out. I would put myself on these campaigns, so I knew that like by day 4, I was getting the letter. So typically my clients would be getting the letter too. And then I would wait 2 days, and then I would have a phone call. So like day 6 would be a phone call. And if nothing would happen there, boom, the second letter went out. You know, I'm leaving a voicemail.
We're talking about a process, right? We're talking about a really creative letter that just doesn't go out through an envelope, but a bank, what do we call this thing? A bank envelope?
Bank bag.
Bag?
Yep.
And you can get those, like, can you buy those bulk on Amazon or something, Ray? Like, where do you find those things?
You can. There's some specialty companies that, and the more bulk you buy, you know, the cheaper you get,
the better.
There's also some companies out there that will do fulfillment services for you, where you don't even have to keep any of this stuff at your house or your office or whatever. Yep. They will just print the letter for you, yep. Drop ship it for you. Yep. Of course, it's coming from different locations.
That's going out. But you're dropping that. You're waiting 4 days before you follow up with the phone call. Is that right?
I'm waiting to 4 days. It should be hitting their mailbox. Then I wait 2 more days, and then I make the phone call.
2 more days. So it's 6 days total before you make a phone call.
6 days before I made the phone call. And then nothing happens.
Talk us through that phone call real quick. Tell us about the phone call.
Simple. Very simple. Hey, it's Ray Rice. Typically, they don't answer, right? Hey, it's Ray Rice, real estate agent with a real brokerage here in Denver. I'm the one who sent you that bank bag. Did you get it? That's it.
Let them respond, right? Oh, you're the guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing,
I did get that. I got it 3 or 4 days ago.
nothing magical, man. And I'm in coaching. There's tons and tons of scripts for everything, but it's just knowing your stuff and having confidence and knowing that you are different and you are better. If you speak with authority and confidence, it's one thing I learned big in the Marine Corps. Just say it, act as if, right? Like you know what you're talking
Yeah,
about, and they will follow.
no question.
That's it. There's offers in these letters. There. I know you may not be ready to talk to an agent right now, but when you are ready, here's 3 free services we offer. You might want to take advantage of. It's more of a passive marketing technique, but it warms it up, and that's why you're different. That's why you're different. It really warms up the phone call. So
No, I love
nothing
that.
happens from that phone call. If I don't get an appointment from that, then I would go to the next letter. You ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's see number 2.
Letter number 2. Where'd it go? Oh, this is letter number 2. This is a message in a bottle. Okay, this is a mailable piece to the post office. You just put a label, the address label, you put right here, and they pull it off. And I had a little red arrow pointing to twist here, so they knew exactly what to do. But this is a half-page sales letter, stuff outside of real estate. So it's formatted on a half page. Effectively, it says, did your last broker or real estate agent leave you stranded? Do you think they really did everything they could to help you sell their house? Again, are hitting on those pain points.
Sure.
And it shows a little picture of a bottle floating in the ocean, like Tom Hanks or something. I don't know. Feel like, they said, put your property in the MLS, you never heard from them again, that kind of thing. And again, the 3 offers at the bottom, testimonials and offers. So really, again, it's very simple. It's just eye-catchy, right? It's different. They're getting 100 phone calls a day, right, in those first few weeks for sell by owners. Yep. It's really the same letter, too, for expireds. Almost the exact same letter. Slight tweaks. Again, so 6 days after that one hits, phone call. Or 6 days after I mail it, should be another phone call.
Yep.
No appointment from that phone call. The next letter goes out. This one is this one right here. This is a plastic envelope, so you can kind of see through it here. This has an aspirin package in here, so it's lumpy when you feel it. You see that little package of aspirin? Basically says, has selling your home a bigger headache than you anticipated? Take 2 of these and call me immediately. Dear blah, 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 blah. Okay, I admit these aspirin alone aren't going to cure your selling your home headache, but there is relief and I can help. Blah, 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 blah. Again, testimonials, calls to action. Phone call, at the week 6 after mailing. Then the next letter is, I love this one. This one's really cool. Have you ever heard of a Guatemalan worry doll? This is, so this is the letter. Again, it goes out in this plastic envelope. You can see this little doll. And you can buy like 100 of them for a nickel on Amazon or something. But it tells the story of what a Guatemalan worry doll is. And it says, I'm starting to worry about you. I haven't heard from you. I've sent you the other letters, and it mentions the letters, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Testimonials, calls to action. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so then that's 4 letters, right? So the last letter, again, phone call, then the very last letter. This one is a garbage can. This is a mailable piece to the post office. Again, you just put plastic around the garbage can so it doesn't come undone. But they open it up and you put the label on there. And here's the letter. It's wadded up and thrown in the garbage can for them. And it says, since you've thrown away my previous letters, I thought I would save you the effort this time. Here's your last chance. This is the last letter I'll be sending you. Blah, 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 blah. Same kind of thing. Very creative, very cool.
And for those that aren't joining us on video, that trash can is a plastic trash can that can fit in your hand, probably 4 inches tall.
Yeah.
Right? and just perfect for like one wadded up letter, right?
Yep, exactly. Actually, it's like a 5-page wadded up letter that's in there. But it's mostly the same
Okay.
stuff as before.
Yep.
Just sales letter stuff. So I learned these techniques outside of real estate. And I said, how can I make this work in real estate? I said, this is such a cool idea. And you're probably going to feel like you're at a Carrot Top show here or something. I had all kind of other stuff over here. But how can I make it work in real estate? And boom, man, it just works. And nobody is doing this stuff. I mean, nobody. I've not met one person in my 12 years in real estate that's doing this or anything even close to it. So don't tell anybody, okay? Don't let this podcast get out too far.
That's right. Yep. So it's basically a process with 4 pieces that you follow up every 6 days. The point to it is marketing, branding you and your business, and really it creates an opportunity to follow up, right, with people that are now going to remember you, your brand. And I guess I got to ask that, Ray, in your letters, are obviously you're leaving your name, your email, your phone, your brokerage. Are
Right.
you leaving a picture? Like, do they see you in these letters at all?
Yeah, there's a picture, I think on a few of them, not on all of them, but there is a picture of me. And I don't worry about that too much. In my opinion, branding should be a byproduct of direct response marketing. Everybody, you send out all that crap that real estate agents send out, look at me, I'm number one, everything I touch turns to sold, all that stuff. It
Yep.
just
Yep.
doesn't work. It doesn't move anybody. The stronger calls to action, that's what moves people. It's got to be about them and not about you. 100%. Let it be. Build your brand after you get them to respond, and then show them what you can do. Then build your brand, but wow them in the process. Throughout.
Any thoughts, Ray, on counts? Like, do they need to send 20, 30, 50 of these out a week, a month? Like, do you have any recommendations there?
Very good question. So this is not cheap. It's not free, obviously. All these bank bags and the garbage can and everything cost a little bit of money. The worry dolls are nothing, right? The aspirin are nothing, but the message in a bottle, it all costs a little bit of money. What I did, here's a good secret. I went on to Fizbo.com. I went on to Zillow, and I would go through and I would pick 5 a week. And what
Cool.
I did was I waited until they were about 21 days on the market. You could see how many
Okay.
days they've been on the market, and I picked those.
Yep.
And I didn't pick the ones that were way out of town. I only picked the ones that were in my price range. I wanted to work that looked like, maybe if they had bad photos or something like that. And I thought, man, I could
Yep.
sell that house. Those are the ones I would go after because it would be an
Okay.
easy. I mean, there's a reason why houses don't sell right now, right? They're either way overpriced, they got bad photos, something like that. Pick the
That makes a
ones.
lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And to put in a plug in for Landvoice, I mean, you can go back the last 6 months and see all the FISBOs. So you can go back and look 3 weeks. But also, Landvoice is going to update it when it's actually listed on the MLS. So you're not sending that expensive mailer out. It's
Right.
going to tell you, hey, this is now active. It's no longer a FISBO, right? And so if you can go back 3 weeks and start those campaigns, beautiful thing. You're going to stay up to date with what's listed and what's not, what's a true FISBO, and look at the historicals. Now, with these mailing pieces, you've built your brand, you've marketed to them effectively, you've stuck out, you've been different, and it's
Right.
a huge opportunity to list those for sale by owners in a different way, right?
Absolutely. Perfect. And with
Yeah,
Landvoice information, right, you can get their phone numbers and addresses. And now they'll probably answer their phone because they're tired of real estate agents calling them those first couple of weeks, all day, every day.
no
Yeah.
question, no question.
So look, a
Well,
couple other
Ray,
things
this
I
is
want to
fantastic.
show you. Look,
Yeah,
can I show you a
please.
couple other things? This is a stack of $1 million bills. You could use that somehow, right? Um, this is a round to it. Hey, whenever I get around to it, I will do it. How could you get creative and use that for something, right? Here's a boomerang. You haven't come back around to buy a house yet. When are you coming back to me? Here's another mailable piece. This is a pill bottle. Right, you could put a
Mm-hmm.
letter and put it inside this pill bottle. Here's a whoopee cushion. Again, I said you're going to feel like you're at a Carrot Top show. Um, Magic wand that you can mail out. Hey, if I were to wave my magic wand, how much could we sell your house for? I don't know, something like that. All kind of ways. Just got to get creative and rip off and duplicate a letter or something.
We're outside the box. I love it. It's an opportunity just to be different, right?
Absolutely. Oh, I got one like shredded money. That's shredded $1,000 million bill, I think it is, in a plastic. I don't know. Haven't put a lot of thought into that one, but you could do something with it, right?
No question.
It can be anything goofy. It doesn't really matter. You just got to be different. Be that purple cow.
Yeah, and I think that's really the point to the message here is we've got to be different. We've got to stick out a little bit. And through a lumpy mail piece or campaign like you've just shown us, this is a way to be different and to stick out and to actually for you to be remembered as you follow up and door knock or work with any of these for sale by owners that are out there.
Yeah, and the letters are not the magic bullet. It just warms up the phone call. It warms it up a lot.
That's all. That's
right?
all.
You still got to make the call.
Yeah.
No.
Ray, this is fantastic. We promised our guests 30 minutes or less. Any final thoughts before we end today?
No, if you, we talked about this briefly, but if anybody would like more information on this, maybe I'll drip out the letters to you over time, or let you know where I got all this stuff. You can. I'll create a landing page, but go to rayrice.me, and I'll create something there, a simple landing form. Put in your information, and I'll drip it out to you. Sound good?
Love for our people to reach out to. They can reach out to us at landvoice.com. They can reach out to rayrice.me. Is that correct?
Yep, that's it for this information. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm in Denver, Colorado with Real Brokerage now. Yep.
Love to get that in front of all of our people. It's the process, it's the follow-up, and it's an opportunity for each of us to grow and scale our business. Wish everybody good luck out there. Ray, appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, no problem, man. Take care.
Let's get out there and list it. See you, everybody.